joining us on the show today. Niraj Kumar is joining us to talk about markets. Niraj, how are you looking at the latest set of worries of COVID? Is it justified, or do you think that market may be overreacting in the near term because there is no data on the table yet, which is concerning? What would your message be?
So Ajay, market is clearly worried at this juncture, and rightfully as well. There are a lot of unknown that maybe we really have in the system. We really don't know at this juncture that maybe how it is going to pan out, and hence maybe perhaps you are seeing some bit of jitterness or rough weather in the market. But let me actually give you a background saying here that we have already seen nearly 3 years into pandemic. We have high natural infection in the system. We have seen alpha, beta, delta, and Omicron version, and hence the natural infection level in the system is relatively high. Plus, we also have a high coverage of vaccine. So I think even if the problem actually comes, it would relatively be far more manageable for India. Okay, I see some bit of worries coming in, but I see that maybe any sharp correction in the market should really be seen as a more of an opportunity. And I don't really see big damage is going to happen. Okay, so that's what my take would really be. So I guess as we really go on, these are really good opportunity. If we see a further sharp correction, perhaps it would really be great entry point for any of the new set of investors.
Okay, that's a very balanced view coming in on the market. How do you see the valuation in the market right now? Because there's another view that valuation may be appearing or entering a slightly higher end of the valuation range zone, because there could be some slowdown next year, and hence the earnings will be required to scale back. What are your thoughts on valuation argument?
So I look at, maybe if I am looking at perhaps Nifty earnings should really be somewhere around 13 to 14% that we are really looking at in terms of the growth. And perhaps it's very moderate in that sense. Of course, economy would really, in terms of GDP next year, we have seen 7.25, at least we would really grow this year, 2023 financial year. 2024, our view is closer to around 6% number that we would really see. But Ajay, we should not really see a dramatic shift in terms of degrowth or maybe relatively shortening in terms of the growth trajectory. We have seen 7.25 this year only because June this year was relatively on the higher side, owing to the fact that we really had we had a very supportive base of last year, because it was actually the first quarter last year, which was 2021, was actually we had a lot of impact in terms of COVID. And thanks to that, maybe we really saw that 7.25. But broadly, if you really look at number, most of the quarters in terms of GDP, except first quarter, we would really see hover around maybe 6% itself. And I don't really see from 6% next year, in spite of all the worries, we would really come down dramatically. It is going to be sub 6 or maybe around 6 itself. So in that context, I'm not really worried. And I think 13-14% in terms of nominal growth is very much achievable, given a lot of tailwind that we really have in the system. In terms of margin, we really saw that this year has actually been very tough because of owing to a number of regions. We would really see the tailwind coming in maybe next year. And hence, yes, to some extent, trajectory actually comes down. But given the macro, which is really going to get better, and then we are also seeing that as we really move maybe in 2023, two things are which is going to happen. Of course, growth will really taper off globally, and in India too is really going to taper off to some extent. But what is going to change in terms of the interest rate outlook? What we have seen, the hawkishness is no longer going to be hawkishness maybe a quarter down the line. And that really should bode well for the market, not only for India, for the globally itself. But yes, we have in interim period 3 to 4 months that we really need to tackle.